That's your boy.
It's Mahomes house. Hey, first.
That's your boy. I know it is my Mahomes house. We're wondering, I don't know, it's going to be away for the first time in his career. We'll get to that later. But anywhere he goes, it is Mahomes' house. Welcome once again. This is the Ask Your Boy Sports Podcast. I am the KC Walton. Over here on my right is the original T.I. And over here on my left is Joe Hooters. And yes, we too have taken off our shirts at Arrowhead Stadium and have been banned and kicked out from there for showing too much bosom because I have a C cup.
We kind of touched on it a bit earlier, but so the two teams, they're kind of like a big deal about how the two teams we've played so far in the playoffs have both had a lot of injuries, and the Ravens are pretty healthy.
Very healthy.
So,
This is the best Raven team that I have seen under Lamar Jackson. The best.
complete. The most
And then we're going to go over to their backyard, and then our injuries are a little bit worse. Tooney is out. That's
Tooney's
a
out.
big fucking deal.
Noddy's out for the second straight game.
Well,
Noddy's
Noddy
out.
was, yeah.
He's
Noddy
out.
was out last week, and then he's out again. That's going to be kind of tough.
We got
So is Willie Gay playing?
question mark.
Willie Gay is
He's
playing.
got the what was that
He's
a neck
questionable.
issue,
That
right?
means, yeah.
A neck.
He re-injured his neck. It kind of stinged it, whatever, but he's
Okay.
ready to go. He's going to play.
Pacheco's questionable. He's got
He's
a
going to
toe
play.
ankle issue.
He's going to play.
And
He-
then
bro,
yeah,
he
he'll
played
play.
last year with a broken wrist.
Did you hear what Richard Sherman said about him?
Runner Isaiah Pacheco runs like somebody who didn't have a lot growing up, and he was like he's frustrated at the world.
yeah.
But it was like the perfect thing to say because it seems so true.
I've always said Isaiah Pacheco runs like his mama just yelled at him and tell him to go to his room.
Yeah, he's getting out of there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And stomping the fucking ground. So our injuries are pretty
They're stacking up a
significant,
little
but
bit.
good thing is that we have depth.
On the defense, we do have depth. I think we
And
have
we,
a lot of good
I
depth.
think I was a little worried last week, and as far as the depth goes, that did make me feel better because they came in, they performed, they were solid. I missed the guy's name, one of the linebackers that came in. He was actually making a lot of plays right off the bat. I don't know.
Leo Chanel,
Drew
Tranquil.
No, Drew Tranquil. No, not him.
I think it was
'cause he's-
Chanel.
Yeah, it was probably Chanel. Yep.
Chanel, yeah, he's been around. So actually, he was a starter like maybe last year or whatever.
Hey, if you're watching at home and we got it wrong, comment right down there below and let us know who it was.
Cause-
and leave the emojis alone with the whole flipping off thing.
Because we got a lot of things wrong. I mean, the whole premise of our show is, hey, bunch of buddies at the bar having drinks, bullshitting about sports. And when that happens, there's a lot of facts that get out there that aren't actually facts.
Sometimes we write down stats.
Yeah.
Majority of the time we don't.
Hey,
And when we write them down, we're probably wrong anyway.
we're just
And-
having a good time, having drinks, and just trying to throw some stuff out there.
Yep. And sometimes we'll edit the show to correct it, and sometimes we won't.
I do like the check mark and red X's on the show. I do. That's my favorite part of the editing.
Yeah, so we have a tall order ahead, right? You said it. We did face a couple of teams that had some key injuries, but let's be honest, we had some key injuries too, right? But we're now coming into this game with a couple key injuries, playing the best defense in the NFL. One of the things I found intriguing about them is that I can't think of I don't think they have like an elite edge rusher, right? I can't think of any names that come to mind.
They do have a guy that's pretty good. He's not. They have.
They have to, right?
Yeah.
I know they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to, but I do know this fun factoid. I seen this today that they're 27th in the NFL in blitz rate. So, with that being said, they are number 1 in overall sacks with 60.
So then they can get sacks without blitzing.
That's what that means.
That's not good.
That's not that's not good, right?
So
So, what do you guys think? What are some of the keys to victory for the Chiefs?
so here was a point that I wanted to make. Because I know Patrick Mahomes, he can come out. I think he can do whatever he's going to do against any defense that's ever been in the NFL. I don't think that's going to bother him. I think with the main thing here is, can we get our running game going against that defense, especially with Joe Tooney out, Pacheco a little banged up. Is our line going to be make those holes so Pacheco can hit him or Clyde can hit him and we can have a productive running game?
When you say Pacheco's banged up, I don't think it's just a report. He's the same as he was last week. He is ready to go. He's going to run all over them.
So Walter's
Now-
saying he's going to get the shot for the game.
Yeah. So, but even if he's fully healthy, it's like, okay, is Clyde gonna be able to be productive
Yes.
enough to give
He is gonna be a
Pacheco
big-
break?
yeah.
And
He's going to be a big deal. Now, on the opposite side, are we afraid of their wide receivers? Odell Beckham, Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers pretty solid, right?
He is pretty solid.
Well, here's the thing.
He's a rookie.
Yeah, the rookie. He is pretty solid.
You cannot sleep
then
on
that's
those
it.
guys. You cannot sleep on those guys. But
And Mark Andrews is coming back.
he is.
Yeah,
think
but at
it's-
what percentage?
I don't know.
You know what? He's had a lot of rest, so he might be
Yeah.
good, right?
Might be
But
fresh.
true. What percentage?
A lot of rest, but he was a horrible injury.
Yeah.
It looked
Well-
like he was broken.
Well, just like we shut down Diggs and them, just like we shut down the Dolphins, right? You have Snead, you have Jalen Watson, you have
Yeah.
McDuffie out there. I'm not worried about the receivers. Who I am worried about is Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
And
Likely.
perhaps Justice Hill.
Good point.
Justice Hill, we got to keep an eye on him. I think they're going to try to throw him some short screen passes. This last game he had, I don't remember, but he did really well catching the ball. So that's the key, I think. And then we have to have a spy at all times on Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, is he gonna get a lot of running yards? I think he's just gonna be running all over the place.
So Lamar Jackson this past season decided to become a pocket passer. He doesn't want to run anymore. There was some plays, some games where he was wide open to just to run, and he refused and just tried to just force a pass in. It's almost like he's getting to the point of his career where he's realizing, I need to save myself. I want to be a pocket passer. That's what we have for us. He's going to run when we pressure him, and he has no choice. You know why? Because McDuffie's going to shut his receiver down, and we're going to have Snead shutting his receiver down, and we're going to be spying. So hopefully that's going to work. Once again, Lamar Jackson, he crumbles in the playoffs. Now, likely, I'm a little afraid of him. And then the running game in the first two quarters are going to be pretty good. But then we're going to adjust like we always do in the second half, and the running game is going to be obsolete because they're going to try to go with the running game of Lamar Jackson, and they're going to try to throw downfield to try to catch up, because at halftime, we're going to be up, not by much, but we're going to be up enough where they're going to start to panic, and they're going to get rid of the running game. And then they're going to try something different. And once again, they're going to crumble, and the Chiefs will move on in the worst showing under Patrick Mahomes' history. This is the worst team I have ever seen. But we made it work, and we made the adjustments, and here we are in the playoffs. I was the first one to say.
You think this is the worst team?
He's talking about the Patrick Mahomes era. I think
Right,
that's
right.
what
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
It's not.
Okay. I don't know, because maybe
It's the
our
worst offense. It's the worst offense.
Yes.
By far.
Yes.
Easy
but
to
our
say.
defense has rose so high.
Yep.
Which
And in the
I wanna
playoffs,
say-
defense tends to
yeah.
outplay
But I will
offenses.
say it has been the worst offense.
It has. But I want to say something real quick before we get off Lamar Jackson, right? And I think the question is this. And
You going to let me
kinda-
respond?
No, not yet. But the question is this: is what were you going to respond to?
I was going to say that, yes, I agree with you on that. It was like the worst offense ever under Patrick Mahomes. And the defense, yes, I agree. It's the best defense we've ever had. But in the first two quarters, in practically every single game, they struggled.
Yeah. So here's the thing with Lamar Jackson, right? And I think here's the question: how is Lamar Jackson going to do in the biggest game of his life? And that's the truth, right? This is going to be Lamar Jackson's biggest game of his life.
Biggest game.
It's not Patrick's biggest game of his life,
No.
right? So who has more pressure?
I was going to ask that. Do you think that this is our biggest AFC Championship compared to all the rest in the past against Burrow, against whoever else? Don't you
Is this
think
the best team that we're playing?
The toughest team that we're
yeah.
going to have to
yeah.
Isn't
surpass
this the
to make
most
it to the Super
important
Bowl?
one that you think?
The most recent one's always going to be the most important one.
And I think this is most important for the Chiefs' legacy.
Very much so. Yes. And
for
for
this era,
if we want to continue to call us a dynasty, that is a very important
Yes.
game.
Could you imagine one of our worst seasons that we continued on in the playoffs and made it to the
Yeah.
Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl? Then I will never, ever, ever, ever question any kind of season. Even if we were to start out 0-6, I don't give a shit. We're going to win the Super Bowl that season. I will never question again.
As long as we don't have a situation like the Bengals had this year. Burrow gets hurt and he's out and they suck. I mean,
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Well, here's what we have. So we got one of the best offensive minds, so they say, right, in Andy Reid, and I believe that. He's definitely has some competition coming up on him, but we're also going against arguably the best defensive coordinator in the NFL. Like, what is this, Mike McDonald? The way they talk about him, like they say that guy's a genius. So it'll be very interesting. We're going to definitely have to keep Patrick on his feet. We don't want to see him on his back. And, man, we got to keep catching the ball.
And can I give I hate to say this. Can I give Juwan Taylor a little bit of credit for the last couple of games? Can I give him a little bit of credit the last couple of games? And then who's the other character on
He
the other
deserves it
side?
for that last game.
Yes, man. You know what? They stepped up. Playoff time. This is the time they need to step up, and they sure did.
The other guy's something Smith, right?
Yeah, something Smith. Trey Smith.
No, there
It's
is a
not
Trey
Trey Smith?
Smith. That's a guard. Who's the other tackle? I thought it was something Smith too. I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know. Top
It's
of my
Trey
head.
Smith.
We'll pop it up
He
here if I
is
remember.
the guard.
Yep.
So I have
anyways, go
I
ahead.
have a question here. So I got two receivers. Who are the two most important receivers in this next game?
On which team?
Our team.
Oh, I think it's going to be the same answer we gave last time. I don't know if you watched it.
Jackson Heights' very own Mr. Watson.
You say Mr. Watson didn't do jack shit last game, by the way. I thought he might, but again, I think it's MVS, right? Because he's
Yes.
proven that he is our deep threat. He is our most consistent deep threat.
We need MVS not to have a whole lot of catches, but he needs like last week. he
Just
had
catch the ones that are thrown to you.
Yeah, he had 2 for 60. He needs to have that one big catch with 2 big catches, and those were important catches last week.
Very much
That
so.
game that he had last week, that everything
Critical.
else that he did all season long, did it just disappear?
I didn't give a shit about
Yeah.
anything else he
Yeah.
did.
Right?
It
All that
did.
matters
Isn't that
is
weird?
right
It
now.
did.
That's some weird ass shit, right?
And
Right? That shit goes away quick, man. I'm
and
telling
the
you.
other receiver I wanted to talk about, who I was kind of high on when we got him, but now I'm like, we need to keep Hardman off the field.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't play
He's
hard.
been
What was
been
his stats?
inconsistent, man.
His stats was what?
2 carries, 2 fumbles.
-1.
Oh man,
negative
look.
1 yard catching and then 2 fumble.
Man, it was.
I don't
rough,
think
man.
he'll look. I don't think he'll make that mistake again. But damn, dude, like
It was a tough game.
it's a tough game.
You know what? We have to support. We have to support him. Hopefully, he has a great game. Hopefully, he has at least 2 or 3 like catches and great yardage yaks
Well,
after that.
His saving grace might be that. Oh, if there is a saving grace for him, is that we won the game.
Yeah.
That's it.
And did you see where Travis Kelce took a lot of the blame for that fumble because he said he blocked his man into Hardman instead of blocking him away? He blocked him into him.
I'm not buying it.
No. McCall Hardman try to stretch
Oh
the
no,
field.
yeah.
To go to
No, it was all
And
Hardman. That
you
was
know
just a
what?
good teammate
It
trying
was.
to
Yeah,
help out
I
his
know,
buddy.
Yeah.
I know. No. He tried his best to try to get the tip of the football across the line to get a touchdown. Hey, I don't blame McCall Hardman for that, but you got to hang on to the ball. You got to know what the situation is. If you got 3 people on you, bro, you got to just go ahead and tuck the ball in and hang on. I get that. You try to stretch and do the best you can to get the touchdown, but know where you're at.
He
know
wanted
the
that playoff.
situation of the ball of the game. That game right there would have been won if he would have just not fumbled. Think about it. If we would have got a field goal or whatever would have happened, not that fumble.
Oh yeah, if we'd have scored there, that'd have been a wrap.
Hey, let's talk about that fake punt.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
Oh yeah, dude. They tried to give DeMar Hamlin a moment in the playoffs.
Man, and we only had
Of all
10 people.
people.
We only had 10 people on the field.
All right,
Of all people, let's give it to DeMar Hamlin.
Let me set it up in my household.
All right.
So then, so they're about to punt it off. I mean, what? They were 3 yards away, right?
It was like 4th and 5.
I thought it was 4th and 3, 4, something like that. So they needed like 3 yards, 4 yards to first down, whatever. But they were way on their own side, their own territory. So then they were about to kick the field goal or the punt, and I remember telling Monica, and I was like, "Oh, watch out for the fake." I was like, "No,
You
never
said that?
mind." I said that. So watch out for the fake. I was like, "No, never mind. Look how far they were. Never mind. They're way back there in their own territory. I'm not worried about it." And I'll be fucking damned. They tried to sneak that shit with only 10 of our players on the field, not 11, only 10.
And they didn't even get close.
And then again, anywhere close. They didn't even gain that fucking yard. But that poor Hamlin guy, he died last year, came back to life for that bullshit.
Just leave him alone, man. Just let the guy rest.
McDermott still has a job? That was around the time where the game was still close. You're making stupid ass decisions like that. I was fucking rolling. I was like, I can't believe this fucking happened. And you know what's funny is that they showed it later on Twitter, whatever, that one of our players, I forgot who it was, Willie Gay or somebody, not Willie Gay, because he was out. Somebody was like, one of our players, linebackers, was like, hey, watch out for the fake. Watch out for the. He fucking called it because he saw that shit. I don't know how. But that was stupid.
Oh, he saw somebody make a
move or like a setup.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's like, that's not normal.
Yeah.
What the fuck
Only takes
was
one
that?
guy to fuck it up.
Well, since you called the punt, I called the missed field goal because I was like, he's going to miss this. He'd been.
Was that you that turned on the fan?
It was me, buddy. It was me. No, but no, their kicker had been flirting with that upright all night long. I was like, man, he's going to miss one.
First kick of the day.
I know the point afters or whatever. I'm like, ooh,
but he was barely squeezing them in there. I was like, a couple of them. I was like, man, if he was further back, could have missed that.
Yeah, and that's what he was. He was further back, and he fucking missed it. Now Tyler Bass, he's a great kicker. It was tough conditions, but he should have known that the wind was blowing to the right. You need to aim to the left.
Scott Norwood, another sighting. Sorry, Buffalo.
But our guy Bucker, he remained consistent, man. It's nice to have a solid kicker.
It is, dude. It's like a great feeling.
Remember last year he was struggling, and then like this year is
a
like
little bit of a spell.
Solid.
Well, he was struggling like extra points.
Yeah, I was never
really
worried.
field
I was never
goals,
worried
extra
about him.
points,
Though.
I was
like, why are we
yeah.
missing so many extra
But he
points?
was injured. But he was injured.
He was injured because here the first game.
Tyler Bass, I don't know what was going on there, but
pressure.
In his defense, those fucking Bill fans were threatening him, death threats
during the game.
No, after the fact.
They said he had to turn off
all of his social media because he was getting too much flack.
Wow.
Stay classy there, Buffalo.
Yeah.
And then a lot of Kansas City fans was donating to his favorite organization, charity for taking care of cats
after shit like
adopting
that,
cats or something like that.
Even if the team wants you back, do you even want to play for that team? Like that'd be rough.
Your teammates are looking at you crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, we're gonna give me a trade
it's
here.
Something about New York, man. It's something about New York that they're just.
So we're getting ready to play in our 6th straight AFC Championship. That ties a record with New England.
Yeah, that's
Patriots. Right. So hopefully we can knock this one out and get one next year too.
Speaking of records with New England, so Kelsey and Mahomes have taken over Brady and Gronk for the most TDs from a quarterback and a catcher duo.
At 16, correct?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll do my prediction.
Yep.
I'll do Chiefs 31, Ravens 24.
Okay. I think this is a defensive game. Both defenses are really good. So it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think we're going to win with the field goal again. So I will say, 24-21.
All right. I'm going to give my prediction. I'm going to agree with Richard Sherman on this one, and I'm going to say the Chiefs are going to take it 27-24. Shout out to Richard Sherman.
T.I.?
Thank you, T.I. You hear that?
Yeah,
thank you, Sherman. I didn't know who was listening.
Yeah. We're friends. We talk every now and then. You know, he has a podcast too.